It's awesome, yeah, bring on the curtain cape. For now, I have some concerns, I have some needs, I have some wants, and I'm gonna address them here. So in a world where a standalone spin-off Star Wars movie of Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming out, one of the things I want to see, and I already tweeted about this, I want to see Ewan McGregor back. Because Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the reasons prequel haters were like, oh yeah, he's good. Even when he's like, killing younglings. What the fuck is this shit? Ewan McGregor was good, he brought it, he committed, and he's the right age. Ewan McGregor in real life is about 10 years younger than Obi-Wan Kenobi is supposed to be in the original Star Wars movie, which is funny. That's me saying, yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi is supposed to be in his mid-50s. He looks about 80. That's what living on a desert planet will do to you. It'll weather you, you'll look older. That's how I quantify it in my head anyway. At which point, you have to think to yourself, how old is Rey really? Pervs. So I want Ewan McGregor back. Another thing I want to see a movie about a damaged man. Obi-Wan Kenobi has been through some stuff. He is carrying a lot on his shoulders. This is a man who was a part of a religion that was an order of monks that were the keepers of peace and freedom in the old republic. And if you've ever been part of a religion, you always have that mindset of we are the good guys, we're not going to be wiped out because our books say we won't be wiped out. This was Obi-Wan's entire life, and then the Jedi, his entire order, his friends were wiped out, partly because of his friend and apprentice who also killed a bunch of children, and then they rose an empire and took over the galaxy. Obi-Wan is carrying that on his shoulders. He feels like that's his fault. He's got to feel like his religion is a lie. He is going to be in a very dark spot in this movie. Should be anyway. I want it to be on Tatooine with this wrecked man. Think Castaway meets, I don't know, Good, the Bad, the Ugly. You can have kind of a Western angle to it, maybe. Some douchebags who were starting stuff with the town, and he's like, I don't need to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. And then he's kind of provoked to be a part of it, and he helps this town out or something. But I don't want a lot of lightsabers. I feel like him even looking at his lightsaber in his sock drawer would bring up the pain, so maybe you'd see it and he just closes the drawer like, no. And that's all linked to the next thing I'm going to address, which is what I don't want. I don't want a sci-fi romp. I don't want Obi-Wan Kenobi to go out there on some space adventure. I want a deep personal story with Obi-Wan. I want this movie to be like, oh yeah, best script, best actor, best picture. Basically, all the stuff we're probably going to get glimpses of with Luke and his seclusion, I want illustrated with Obi-Wan. I do see potential for Obi-Wan to go out there on some sort of space something and have to go into possibly Imperial space, and he's like, if they find me, I am toast. Maybe that's where he learns the fate of Darth Vader. So I'm sure he knows Darth Vader's out there alive, but does he know he's bionic? I don't know. However, you can still get that on Tatooine, so just stay on Tatooine. Which means no merch. Don't make this a merch fest. Ever since Return of the Jedi, we've all kind of accepted the fact that Star Wars is three things. 33% space adventure, 33% fan service, 33% merch machine. That's just the way it is. And they integrated it fine with The Force Awakens, I felt. Now they have a new Furby in the new one, and people are kind of pissy about it, but in a world where you have George Lucas saying these movies are made for kids, I get they have to appeal to kids while hopefully appealing to the adults that grew up on Star Wars. But if you're just gonna take one for the team and really make one that's not a merch machine, it's not meant for kids, make this one for adults. Just take a knee and be like, you know what guys, okay, here is an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie that your kids will probably be bored in. You can have an Obi-Wan Kenobi hot toy, sure, but generally speaking, I don't want a little sidekick character, I don't want a cartoon character. And I understand merchandise is a big part of how a movie makes its money back, which brings me to the next thing. I would be so happy if I learned that this Obi-Wan Kenobi movie was the cheapest Star Wars yet. If you adjust for inflation, I'm sure it gets a little weird. Point is, don't make it some $300 million sci-fi fest. You see that fan trailer out there of Kenobi, the standalone Obi-Wan Kenobi movie trailer? It came out a while ago, but you look at that and you're like, oh yeah, that's totally the tone I want. And it would not be expensive to make. And if you keep the budget reined in, if you make it a personal story, you don't need the merch to make the money back. This is the checklist right there. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable checklist. I feel like they could do it. Will Disney do it? I don't know. Disney's kind of set a pattern at this point to be like, nah, like big sci-fi adventures with side characters and merch machine. And I am down for rolling with that in a lot of Star Wars movies. Any of the core movies, I know how it is, I get it. But for this one, I don't feel like it fits. The speculation side of me does wonder if them announcing an Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone movie so close to The Last Jedi's release, it's only 4 months away now. I wonder if this is them getting ahead of the fact that we might see an Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Ghost in The Last Jedi. If we see an Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Ghost in The Last Jedi, that would jump the probability of an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie happening to like 99% if they didn't announce it now. If Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force Ghost is in The Last Jedi, I will take it as whoever plays Obi-Wan Kenobi in The Last Jedi is going to play him in the Obi-Wan Kenobi standalone movie. So if it's Ewan McGregor, there you go. I'm not saying Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force Ghost is going to be in The Last Jedi, I'm just speculation. It's fun. All right, guys, so a standalone Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Apparently, it's coming out. What do you want to see in it? Whatever you want to see, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.